I'm here with Jazmin Gonzalez, a community leader in East Los Angeles, and I'm here to interview her about some plastic pollution related questions. So my first question is, what do you know about plastic pollution?
What do I know about plastic pollution? I know that one of the main things the main causes is like the single use plastic silverware that's given to when you eat out. Especially, I think in our community we see a lot of like bottles, cans, out on the floor. A lot of And I know that we've also passed some initiatives to kind of reduce the waste of plastic. We banned the plastic bags, or we did a tax of like 10 cents, and I feel like now we kind of moved away from using them all completely and heading towards a brown bag. Now I've noticed like when I go grocery shopping, that is something that I can't find any more plastic bags. So I'm very thankful that I recycled most of them. Um, but I do know that it does also make its way to our oceans, our waters, and with all the microplastics that people are finding in the body, I think it's a big concern just considering how much plastic is in our daily life and how much we use and just how we can absorb it through digestion and well, yeah, mostly digestion.
And so my second question is, where have you observed these like plastics or the most plastic pollution?
Hmm. I want to say just kind of anywhere. Like, I walk my dog often, so I sometimes see like little Coke bottles. I see a lot of plastic bags, like not the really good quality ones, but the kind of thinner ones. I do see them like just kind of roaming around in the alleys, in the streets. I also know that now with the population of like people getting dogs, most recently like, with the pandemic, everyone seemed to hit the shelters, and so I've noticed a lot of like poop bags around the area, kind of just left at schools, and so that has also made me wonder about even though if they are what is it, micro or biodegradable, it's still kind of concerning that they're still out there, and I'm sure it takes about like 10 years or so. What else? It's mostly plastic bags in the street, really. If I have to think of anything, it's that. But I also kind of do have an alarming collection of like plasticware. So I wonder now that we're talking about the convo, if is it necessary to always send people home with those plastic silverware?
Have any concerns about using plastic? Like major concerns, like health-wise, environmental-wise, or do you just usually not think about it?
I do try to be as like minimize the waste. I have a dog, so I do also use those poop bags, but I am sure that I toss them in the trash can. But like with my bags, I have a good collection of like recycling them and reusing them. Um, I think the only concern that comes is like the water bottles. Even though like I get my water at a like I go fill my gallons, but even then that's kind of still considered plastic. So it does concern me that I'm drinking it still, and it stays in my garage. And sometimes the garage gets a little warm, and so with that I wonder if like it's kind of seeping into the water and like what am I really drinking? So I could be doing all these things to kind of reduce my use of like plastic, but at the end of the day, like it's kind of inevitable to get away from it or even move away from it, because then like I have thought about getting some glass ones, but they're pretty pricey. Like the gas put on dispenser, even those are pretty pricey to get. So I think like it brings up an issue of like kind of what you can afford and how that kind of plays into your life and what you have access to and what resources you have to kind of eliminate or reduce really the plastic and how you come in contact with it from your day-to-day life.
My final question would be, how do you think, or what can we do as a community or as an individual? What do you think is like the best way, to like help limit the amount of plastic pollution in the LA community?
I think one thing that does come to mind, because now that we were talking about this, and my brain kind of started thinking like, even like the dish soap, like there's like we get bottles, even like the laundry. So I think if we can like somehow eliminate that, and I have seen some places where they have shops, and you can kind of take your own glassware and refill like your laundry detergent and refill um, like even hand soap, dish soap, and but again, like it goes back to like your area code, your how much you make, and even like because for me, I feel like we won't find those things in our community because one, they're pricey, and two, it's kind of just systemically like that. Unfortunately, that we're like just heavy with plastics, like our set our dish soap, our laundry detergent. But if we can like bring those kind of resources to our community, like because I know like my grandma collects all kinds of jars, like and she's she puts a lot of stuff in there. She gets creative with them. So if they would allow us to give us that opportunity to get creative with how we use our glassware to refill like laundry detergent, refill hand soap, dish soap. I think that would that would be like a huge difference. But again, like it all comes back to like money because even those companies start losing money once we stop buying their plastic dish soap in the bottle and stuff.
Okay, that was a great answer. Thank you, Jasmine, again, and that's it.